Greetings, kings, queens, knights, nobles of all kind. My name is Blue Raven, and welcome to a new Minecraft series that I'm doing called Minecraft Journeys. Now, don't worry, for anybody who is a fan, which includes myself, of the Raven's Adventures, that's not going away. This is not replacing it, but this is, temporarily it is. Which I will get into in just a second. But yeah, so I will go through and explain to the best of my abilities what this series is going to be and what kind of to expect and what we're going to do. Right. So first off, we need to do the basic thing and punch a tree so we can get some resources. I need food, and eventually we'll need stone and way to sleep. I am using the snapshots, so we will see the new features, which I'm excited about. Oh, hello, wolf. Oh, there's two wolves. Nice. So yeah. But anyways, what is Minecraft Journeys? Well, as you might be able to gather from the name, it is going to be basically, me going through and exploring the game that is Minecraft. I'm going to be going through the different structures. I'm going to be defeating the different bosses, defeating the different enemies that are in the game. Obviously the two big ones like the Ender Dragon and the Wither, but stuff like the Pillager raids, stuff like the Warden, the Ocean Monument Temple, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, just different things like that, and going through and just kind of looking at the major parts of the game as well as some of the minor things that are kind of forgotten about. We might find some rare mobs like the axolotl and the sniffer, with the blue axolotl I guess more specifically, but certainly the axolotls in general are kind of rare. But yeah, so another thing too is I do love making videos. I love making videos on Minecraft. And I know that over a 3-year lifespan of my channel, I've certainly not uploaded enough videos, I guess, to maybe say that I enjoy doing them, but I certainly do enjoy doing them. But I think a big thing is that I kind of get just a little lazy, but that's more an excuse. Minecraft for one, which again, this is an excuse. Which way do I want to go? Let's go this way. Minecraft does take up a lot of storage space. I think I've mentioned that before. Oh, I see a cherry place. Let's go there. That'll be nice. But yeah, so it takes up a lot of storage. And another thing too is that I think I left fire spreads on. I don't know why that just instantly popped into my head, but I think I might turn that off because I do not want fire spreads. Everything else is the same. The game mode is on normal. I will leave the seed in the description if you would like to play along with me or find your own stuff. But yeah, I think this next update is like a really great one for a series like this with the new maps and how things are kind of like connected. And we might even get lucky and find a abandoned camp up here, which would be nice. But anyways, before I get off track, the thing about Minecraft is that while you do have goals, a lot of the game is making up your own goals, making up your own stuff. Right, and I can certainly do that, but I have a hard time, I guess, commentating over that. I have a hard time not getting like nervous while I'm trying to do my Let's Play because I'm trying to build, I'm trying to make sure it's entertaining, I'm trying to not mess up the builds. A lot of times I'll go back and look at my build after the recording and I'm like, dang, I missed like 5 things. Like, what is wrong with me? And sometimes I go through and like, I think I made one episode where I just was basically going around fixing stuff because I was like, why did I miss this stuff? I don't understand. Well, I mean, I do. It's just in the moment focusing on one thing, and I still kind of have like recording fog, essentially, where I'm like, oh, I'm recording now. Everything that I was thinking of before recording is now like lost to me. Whatever plan I had is just now gone, and I figured starting, because the first episode of this channel was, Raven's Adventure, the first episode of that. And then the second was like a horror indie game, right? Because that was kind of like the standard I wanted to set for the channel, was that's what I was going to be doing. I was going to be doing Minecraft as well as variety stuff, because I don't want to do just Minecraft, because there's a bunch of other games out there that I enjoy playing. Ooh, there's a ruined portal. Should I go search that first? I think so, and that would be a nice thing to see as well. I don't know if I had that on my list of structures, but I kind of forgot about it, I think. But there's certainly one thing that we can check off as discovered is a ruined portal. But yeah, so I still get kind of nervous, recording in general, but especially Minecraft. And I don't like that that's, how it is. I want to get better at it. And so, that's kind of one reason for a series like this. I'm willing to let some of these episodes be a bit more awkward if it means that I can just get more comfortable playing, because I want you guys to enjoy it. And, I think, just being able to, ooh, nice. A good bit of stuff. Very good. An axe, some pants. We'll save that for later. Alright, very nice. I don't know. I don't want to go ahead and chop down some. Well, we'll chop down like a couple more. Might as well use the axe up. It probably will get used up pretty quickly here. Just trying to get some oak wood for the road. Although we'll be pretty close to any oak. But yeah, as I was saying, so I want to just, become more comfortable recording Minecraft. I want to make myself just talk more, so that way I can just, be a bit more interesting. And I also just want to, kind of take this series a bit more easy. As I've probably also mentioned before, which hopefully I don't sound like too bad of a broken record, but in my Raven's Adventure world, I kind of build in a medieval fantasy style, and that's what I want. I chose that because it's the style that I enjoy to build in the most. The early stages of Minecraft lend toward that style a lot, but also it is just fun to do. But I kind of lock myself into that everything has to look, has to have the specific look, and that's not always the case. Like, I know it's okay to, have variation, and the fantasy part can come in heavily there and be like, look, this is stuff you're making up in your head, and part of me wants to tell a story, but not everything I've built has to tell a story. I think I'm kind of OCD in the fact that if something isn't like, and I'm not just saying that as kind of like, oh, look at me, I'm kind of quirky. Like, I do genuinely think I have like some symptoms of like OCD, where I overthink things. I have a hard time just being like, is this perfect? Is this doing exactly what I want it to? And if not, is it worth just tearing it down and starting over? Is it worth just scrapping it? I kind of get discouraged on that kind of stuff, and it just kind of sucks because it's really exhausting, to like be that way, I guess. So all right, no, maybe there'll be one. I really hope that I probably should have tested if I was even using the proper snapshot. I think I am. Is there okay, cushions should be on here, right? What about can I make wool slabs? Okay, I can. Good. Okay. We'll go ahead and make a bed real quick. Yeah, I would like to find an abandoned camp though, because that's one of the probably coolest features of the update, besides the cushion. I think it's something that Minecraft has needed, honestly, for a while. Having some type of like tent like campsite is something that honestly fits right into Minecraft and should have been in the game ages ago. Go ahead and sleep here. But yeah, where was I? Yeah, I do want to tell a story. I do always have that kind of in the back of my mind, but that's where a straw bed would come in very handy. So I wouldn't lose my spawn point, it would just break, but we don't have any wheat. Alright, where do we want to go? But, again, I know it's my world, it's whatever I want to do, but I want the viewers to, be happy as well. And I want, I certainly know how I feel when I see people build something cool. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. I want to build like that as well. But I also know that it's okay to have mediocre builds. It's okay to just have something be a functional building, and things don't have to be done right away, and that's fine. I need to go. I like how it looks over here, like this mountain area. That cherry like stretches on a pretty good bit that ways, but I do like the way things are looking over here. I know we're a bit far from spawn. I don't mind going too far from spawn. I know some people like to build around it, and depending on the spawn, I will. Like in my the world that I play with my dad, we build we're like right there at spawn, which is pretty nice. Although it's in a savannah, and to be honest with you, this is actually the second world I made because it's the first game I actually spawned in a savannah, and I don't know, something about spawning in like a savannah. It's just not the best looking biome. Like, it is nice. I eventually do want to, to build in it. And exploring it is great and all, but I don't know, something about just like living there. It's just, it's different from the desert. The desert has, I don't know, a different feel to it. It just feels kind of dull in a savannah. But anyways, I essentially want to use this series as a fun way for me to just be, to make myself be more comfortable recording in general. You would think after 3 years I'd be pretty comfortable, and depending on the game, if the game, has an objective and I can work towards that, it's a bit easier. Oh, there's another ruined portal, and I have no way to get over there from here. That's fine. But yeah, so I want to become more comfortable. I want to talk more. This is gonna hurt. That one is too. Yeah, and I want to also just be more, light and not so hard on myself. And that way maybe, I can kind of refresh my, love of, playing this game. I love playing this game. I play it off camera plenty of times. And really all the time, honestly. I don't really need, I mean, do I want to take that? I don't think so. Yeah, that would have been nice if we got some obsidian. We could have went straight to the nether, probably, although the other one was a bit built a bit better. I think we want to gather some stone right here. I need a furnace so I can cook this pork chop. But yeah, no, I do love this game. I'm not running out of love for the game. I guess I just don't want to burn myself out. Ooh, excuse me, sorry. When I'm trying to play for YouTube, I don't want it to feel like a chore. I want it to feel like I'm having fun. And also, hey, you guys are here too. I think you guys will enjoy it as well if I, sit and take the time to be like, yeah, this is what, this is what I'm doing. And you guys are just there for the ride. You're not like, okay, this guy's, like talking like 2% of the time and it's just kind of like annoying, or I'm just like quiet or whatever. And I mean, everybody should do what they want to do. But I want to be entertaining. Not like brain rot, fast-paced entertaining, because that's another thing I wanted to get into was that I feel like the shorts and the reels and the TikToks, whatever, they, not to sound like an old person, but they have really kind of, I think, ruined a lot of the like attention span that we have for playing and watching things, but that's why I want my content to be long form stuff, because I enjoy that more. I enjoy the long form YouTube videos. I enjoy movies. I enjoy playing games for a long period of time. You know, a lot of times I find myself, I'll play for like 30 minutes. I'm just like bored. You know, I gotta create stuff for myself to do. You know, and I have a hard time doing that. You know, so sometimes it's good to just have your imagination be left to its own devices rather than you know, having it full of a bunch of brain rot. Now I get not all shorts and you know, and short form content or brain rot stuff, but it does give you that instant hit of dopamine that, you know, is honestly like kind of like a drug to some people. It never got so bad for me because I grew up watching, you know, long form YouTube content, and that's what I enjoyed the most. Another cool thing is that the game is not only updated. I know we're in the snapshot. The copper armor is not in this snapshot. It's already in the game. But when I started my Raven's Adventure, that was not a thing yet. So we can go ahead and get some copper armor, which is nice. Which I think is a really cool thing. I know a lot of people talk about how copper, like what problem does it solve? I think it solves the problem of the early game. Maybe not like so much so. Like maybe for like, you know, a couple, like maybe an hour or so. But if you're like, you know, in a game and you're not finding any iron at all, and I've certainly been in those like worlds where it's just like, dang, there's no iron in this world at all, and then I play some worlds and it's like there's iron everywhere. But to be able to make iron tools and then have just like copper armor, I think is a useful thing. Okay, I'm gonna have to dig out right here. But yeah, so just all in all, I want to be entertaining. I want to be comfortable. I want to be, you know, someone that, you know, because growing up, you know, I would watch Minecraft YouTubers all the time, and you know, and just YouTubers in general, and I know how important it was for me to be able to come home and you know, watch somebody to give me a laugh and to get through the day, to get through the week, you know, a tough day at school, or you know, or maybe a tough day at work or something like that, you know, to be able to come home and just, you know, watch somebody that's going to be entertaining, that's not, you know, just, I guess, you know, dull and boring. But I mean, again, some people like different things, you know. I mean, you know, I can certainly see why listening to more monotone, you know, videos, someone who's not like screaming at the top of their lungs, would be more enjoyable. I don't want to really go in the snow. Ooh, I see something really cool. Okay, we're actually finding quite a lot in the in this first episode, which is interesting. But that's really nice. I don't know when we'll settle down, but we will. It'll be sometime shortly, I imagine. I want to try and settle down before the episode ends, but if we don't, that's okay. I do need to try and kill a spider though, and get some. Ooh, that's cool. Hey, speaking of a spider, I need to kill a spider, hopefully get its string, and then kill a cow so I can get some leather. And sorry if it gets really dark here for a second, but I want to get a bundle. That's essentially what I'm trying to get at. Okay, good. Because a bundle will make traveling a lot easier, and being able to take a bunch of stuff with us. Let me go ahead and let me do this, and I'm gonna sit here and mine a little bit more. I see some more copper. Maybe we can get some tools going, because if we go to the Pale Oak Forest, whatever it's called, the Pale Forest, the Pale Garden, I think that's the one. Then not that I can kill the creaking anyway, but to just be able to have protection from the other mobs, that would be nice. But yeah, I think honestly I said everything I wanted to say. Like I said, you know, I enjoy the more slower paced, content. I know I've been talking a lot, which is nice. I'm glad that I've been able to talk this long and not just be like, 2 minutes in and be like, well, that's everything. But I just want to be more just comfortable in general, doing YouTube. I want people to, you know, I mean, again, like I said, growing up, I watched so many people that their series that I watched when I was younger, I'll go back and watch it again. As I'm older, just because it's kind of like a comfort series, like I go back and watch like a Markiplier's FNAF stuff, and I'm trying to think like Jacksepticeye's Papers, Please, which is certainly a game that I want to play myself as well. Let me go to sleep, thank you. There's Stampy's Lovely World, and it's like Squid Sky and stuff. If that's still up on his channel, I don't know if it is or not, but just stuff like that. There's people that there's other series that I've watched, that are good to go back and watch as well. That I want that to be that for people as well. So I want to have a series, that people are just like excited to see. They want to, should I make a pickaxe? It's not really any, I mean, for right now, yeah, not really any better than the stone one, but it's nice. But yeah, so I just want to have, I want to be that for someone, a comfort YouTuber, someone that they, can listen to and just know that it's going to be, it's going to be fine. They're not going to have to worry about, that they can just watch and, fall asleep to it or just feel comforted by it, because that's what YouTube was for me when I was younger. And I think, having that, personal enough connection, with the audience to be like, this is, someone or something that can, you can relate to and you can enjoy, and it's not so fast that your brain's already just, rattling about as it is, Alright, sorry. I think I'm losing what I'm trying to say with trying to focus on getting stuff in the game here. Let's make a moment. And then I can just about, actually, is it with, do I make it with? No, it is gold bars, that is right. It's golden carrots that you use nuggets for. So I can't make another golden apple, unfortunately. Alright, I want to try and make a chest plate and boots, and then I think we'll head on to the pale garden. Alrighty, so we have our chest plate and boots. I'm gonna make some torches here, and then grab this stuff, and we will head on that way. But yeah, sorry if we got a little deep earlier, or if I'm just kind of rambling on a lot, or if it was just a lot at, which way was it? It was this way, wasn't it? Because I was like, yeah, okay. But yeah, if it seemed like a lot, just me talking about a bunch of stuff here and there, but it's something that I wanted to get out and get you guys to understand, and hopefully I don't sound like a lunatic or anything. But yeah, no, I just I really want to become a better content creator, and for myself and for you guys. And I think doing a series like this is something that I wanted to do, and like I said, as soon as I saw the what this snapshot consisted of, I was like, this is great, because like, I mean, this is like so nice that this is something that like kind of fits in with what I want to do anyway, and it's just going to make it easier and more fun and more intuitive. I love that they're making maps to these like areas that are less maybe known, or people don't know how to get to as easily. so you don't have to use external applications to find these places, at least easily. Alright, let's make a bundle, and we'll keep yeah, stuff like that in there. Alright. This is really nice too, because the creaking is something that I honestly thought that was going to be like really hard to find, and something that's going to be like really late in series to get, but it seems like it's something that we're going to be able to experience. Whoa, this place is cool. Let me see what's on the other side over here. We might honestly make our base somewhere around here, because this is going to be a pretty nice area. So it just seems to be forest, unfortunately. Yeah. Looks like it could open up a little bit over there. I'm not necessarily trying to be a vagabond. I'm trying to, like, a base would be nice. But I do just, ooh, okay. I do, want to be in an area where it's like, there's enough stuff to kind of not have to go too far out. I also wish that they would, so when the snapshots for the creaking first came out, right, they made it where, one, when you grow the tree, it would make the moss around it, and they took that out, which, okay, fine, fair enough. You can buy the moss and all that kind of stuff, everything from the Wandering Trader, except for the resin. And the reason I don't like that is because the resin is what you need to make the creaking heart, which gives you a creaking, right? If you're someone, let's take Etho, for example, right? Who has a really old world, right, that they still play in, you know, and they want to get access to a creaking, they either have to do one of two things. They either have to go in one direction for, I mean, probably thousands of blocks, right, in hopes that they find one of these things, and then two, they have to reset chunks that they've been in before, which may be considered a little bit cheating, but I certainly can understand it, especially for his case. But even in any other case, it's like, okay, whatever. You know, and that's not something that every player wants to be able to do, or wants to like have to do, or knows how to do. So, you know, it kind of sucks, right? Like, you can get all the wood. That's what I love about the Wandering Trader. I think the Wandering Trader is great. It's a great addition. I think it would have gone really great. It may have even gotten added, I don't know, but like on the old like the console edition, it would have done wonders on that world, or that edition, because you would have been able to get a hold of like everything. Like if you had a world that didn't spawn with a certain biome, you'd be able to get the wood from that biome at least, which is nice. I think that's great, but not being able to get the resin means that in order for someone like Etho to you know, see a creaking, he would have to go way out there and find the place. Now the biome does have its you know, cool aesthetic and everything with the grayed out skies and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, you know, he would miss out on that, but at least he would be able to have that mob there, you know. You know. Now, granted, you know, I guess the same could be said for the sniffer as well. The sniffer you have to get an egg for, and that would be kind of hard to do, because you would need to find an ocean with one, an updated ocean, and then two, an even more updated ocean, which you have the suspicious sand, in order to get the egg. Right? You can't buy it from the Wandering Trader, which that's perfectly fine and understandable. Maybe it would be cool if they could sell suspicious sand or suspicious gravel. Like, they just have it, you know, they're just like, hey, yeah, if you want this, you can, like, you know, it's like a loot box, you know, you either get, you know, a piece of dirt out of it, or you get a sniffer egg, you know, something like that could be cool. I think there's definitely more things they can do with the Wandering Trader that would make it even better than what I think it already is. Alright, I do want to see a creaking, and then we'll sleep. I also want to get Another sapling. There we go. So I can grow this stuff. Alright. Ooh. Where? Oh, hi. He's right there. Hello. That's cool. Come on. Nice. Ooh, hi. Oh, gosh. Oh, I see why this biome is so creepy now. Okay, we'll have to come back later when we get a bit more stuff. Dude, their sounds are terrifying. Okay, okay. Is there a mushroom over here I can get on? Can I can't. Oh, I can't. Good. Okay, phew. Yeah, we're gonna take care of that right now. We saw the creaking, so we can check that off, which is nice. And then we can eventually try and get a creaking heart. Alright, I think the last thing I'm gonna try and do is go this way to see if there's like a cleared out area, because I love living in the plains. I mean, come on, it's the best biome. If we see which we have not at all, which is surprising, although it would be closer to a cold area. If we see a dappled forest, living in that for sure. And even if we find one later, we might just move to it. I see another cherry biome, which is cool. We have a chance in the forest too, to be fair, but finding a abandoned camp. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I'm saying that right. But yeah, I like to find one because they have some cool stuff there, and they have copper chests, which is cool. It's the first time that copper chests have spawned in a location. I think the copper chests, granted they wasn't out yet, but they would go great in, of course, a trial chamber. But I think you can find abandoned camps in most of the different biomes. Ooh, I see a village. Alright, that's a great place. Maybe to end off the video, depending on the time. I'd look at the time because I don't want this to go by too fast, but I don't want it to be too slow going either. Imagine we just did everything I wanted to do all in one episode. That would be crazy. That would be possible. I mean, well, maybe. I mean, it would certainly be possible if I just recorded for hours and then put it all into one episode, which some people do that. I don't really like that. I like my episodes to be more like, this is what I did, and if it's repetitive, like, yeah, I'd cut it out. That's fine. I have nothing wrong with cutting stuff out. Nothing wrong with editing in general. I mean, if you've seen any of my content, you know that I do edit, but I do like to keep things a bit more raw. So yeah, I do see that there is a pillager outpost over here, so that's great. So next episode shaping up to be a good one, because we'll be taking on that next. So that's exciting. Other minor things I'm going to do, like if you know the survival guide by Pixelriffs, I believe it is. Hopefully I'm getting that person right. Like, I know of Pixelriffs, but I don't know if he's the one who does the survival guide. This is not really what that is. This is me just going through playing, you know, as kind of like a, you know, just like there's so much, honestly, in terms of exploration to do in the game now. I'm just going through and exploring all of that. You know, from, you know, beginning to end, essentially, and just seeing how, or just having fun with it. But yeah, just going through and just, you know, having fun with it, and just, you know, exploring the game and just playing it. I mean, just like anybody would, really. But you know, maybe I'll show you some things that maybe you didn't know of before, or didn't remember. Maybe you once knew. Like I said, it's kind of the big stuff and maybe some of the small stuff, just going through, you know, collecting things and yeah. Basically just, I think, what a lot of people do in the game, you know, especially vanilla Minecraft, where there's, you know, where it can kind of drop off after a little while. You just start collecting certain things. Because the music disc would be pretty cool to get. I know there's some I would definitely like to get. Pigstep. The Stall is one of my favorites. It's one of, I think it's one of like the OG ones, but Stall is one of my favorites. And there's other side's pretty good. What is the I can't remember. I think the trial chamber ones, or at least the copper looking ones, I think they're good too. I haven't listened to them in a while though. Alright. Any blacksmith here at all? Doesn't look like it. This is a nice area. It's close enough to everything. I can go back and forth. Alright, so this house, no, not this house. Let's take one of the bigger houses. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, this house is fine. There's not really any too big of houses. But yeah, I think this is where we're going to end the episode. We've already done quite a little bit. Honestly, we have seen a creeking as well as the Pale Garden. We've seen a cherry blossom forest, whatever you want to call it. We found a village. We found a pillager outpost, which we're going to probably look at that in the next episode. You know, we're kitted out pretty well, and yeah. So again, hopefully me talking didn't irritate you too much, and hopefully you kind of get the gist of what this new series is going to be. I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm just going to be patient with it and have fun with it, and hopefully you guys will be here for the ride and enjoy it along with me. But anyways, if you liked the video, then make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more from me, then make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next one. Stay happy, stay healthy, and God bless.